This is the one that got me super excited for the new wave of Star Wars stuff. Rogue One, released in 2016, directed by Gareth Edwards. Starring Felicity Jones, Alan Tudyk, Diego Luna, Ben Mendelsohn, and a whole bunch of other very cool characters. Actors who played cool characters. Production budget of 200 million, with a worldwide total of, looks like a scribble. It's over $1 billion, okay? For a total profit of 856 million, less all marketing and associated costs. Okay, wow, I love this movie. This made me so happy. I was so excited about this one. There was a lot riding on this one for me. I was super keen, and then it came out, and I was even more keen. Super hyped. I saw this as the most amazing launch point for the new wave of Star Wars properties. I was so very excited. It didn't quite play out as I imagined, but this was cool fun. It's rough, it's dirty, it's gritty. This is the rough edge of the Rebel Alliance. This is where this one shows that the Rebels will do pretty much anything to win. It shows you the extremists and the sentimentalists, what desperation and duty and the greater good, what all that sort of thing would wear down on someone when they start making questionable decisions. This one had a real British World War II movie, like commandos behind enemy lines sort of thing. And you know, much like those movies, all the heroes die. I couldn't believe that. That was something I was just not expecting to see, but so glad they did. I'm so happy that they paid tribute and paid proper due diligence to this sort of film, this sort of movie, and had all the heroes make the sacrifice. As much as I like to see everyone back for Rogue 2, it just would have cheapened the film if any of these guys got off that planet. But the look of the movie is just spot on, perfect. The sound's good, the music's good, the costumes are great, set locations, different worlds, different robots, different aliens, different creatures, everything just suited everything else. It all just meshed together so incredibly well. Especially when you hear about all the trouble they had behind the scenes getting this film done. You can't tell, you wouldn't pick it. Getting to see the Death Star fire up for the first time, testing out its firepower, just the sheer enormity of what it can do. It just gives so much gravity and so much more threat, actually, to episode 4. Mendelsohn's character, Krennic, he was a nasty piece of work. I quite liked him. He's like the mad scientist engineer of absolute evil. And then Tarkin turns up. Okay, yeah, I know, Tarkin. It looked a bit weird. It didn't look as real as I'm sure they hoped it would look. But even if it did look real, you know that actor's no longer with us. So it made it really hard to kind of accept what I was watching. Tarkin's a real manipulator, real power player, and just wrecks Krennic's day. I love that as well. And of course, Vader. The way they portrayed him as this horror movie monstrosity at the end. An absolute engine of destruction. Shows you why he was such a terrifying figure in the Rebellion era. There's nods to Dave Filoni's work with references to the Rebels series. And when the Empire turns up at the end to try and protect their station, you get to see why they are such a threat. You really got to see the Imperial War Machine being a major problem, a huge obstacle. And the fact that they will technically win, and why the Rebel movement was up against some incredible odds. Because even though the Rebels won, they lost. And even as the Rebels get away with their slimmest of victories, the story continues, only a couple of hours later in the universe's timeline? In episode 4. It's like, bam, the Empire's right on them again. This is a great film and adds so much depth and just extra world building. If you watch Rogue One, followed immediately by A New Hope, it makes A New Hope kind of a little more intense. In fact, I know a family that had never ever seen a Star Wars movie until Rogue One. And because that was their very first Star Wars experience, every movie after that kind of was different for them. You'd hear them talking about A New Hope and saying, when Vader turned up again, I freaked out because I thought it was all over once more. It makes the Rebel soldiers' corridor defense all that more desperate, knowing what Vader did just a few hours before in the universe. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. As a result, it's sitting right at the top. And whilst I don't necessarily want all of my Star Wars movies to be this heavy going, I loved the refreshing change of pace that it presented. And the fact that it pulled from a lot of Dave Filoni's work and feels like it's kind of leaked into Mandalorian as well. These are good things. There's my review. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't seen this one, go see it as a bit of a priority. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below on the Facebook page, and as always, and most importantly, I hope you're having a great week and you get to almost got that line out perfectly, didn't I? Fumbled at the end. And make some time to go and watch a movie.